Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, depending on where you're hearing me from. Um, I just want to quickly address this that I actually see it's been going round and round and it's almost becoming a thing. I go on Facebook and then I'll see so many persons sending anonymous messages to people who have, a broad crowd, larger crowd, and all that. They send them anonymous messages to post on their page to help them, get advice from the world. And when you go through these messages, 80-90% of the time, it's coming from either a wife or a husband who is making complaint and saying they're tired of their marriage. Maybe one complaint of, I don't want to share my money, I don't want to give my money to my husband is doing this, my wife is speaking to the children wrongly, blah, blah. Just very flimsy excuses. And I'm telling you the truth, 80-90% of the time, the head topic in these anonymous messages is always marriage. And I was like, are you being serious? What's happening? I see that the devil is physically fighting this pattern that Christ has given us. And then I'm wondering why, someone who is a believer goes to church, has a pastor, has leaders, will come to the world asking for advice. Really? No. To start with, that is very, very wrong. Let me tell you, if you continue like that, continue going through the things they have to say about marriage online, I give you months, you will be so lonely, alone, heartbroken, and out of your marriage. These people don't care a thing about you. They don't. Why are parents still married and happily together? People will tell you it's cliche. No, the women were tolerating, they were taking. No, it's a lie. My mother and my father, they are still married, happily together. As a matter of fact, they never had money. They don't have any money, but they are happily together. These things are not things that people just, come out and say because of this, because of that. I don't think marriage is a good idea. I know, I've seen, I've heard, I've read through a lot of ladies saying, I don't want to get married though. I think I'll go and do this one, adopt a child, do this one. No, just saying things that I don't know I don't just know where they're coming from. Marriage requires a lot of selflessness. It requires sacrifice. It requires meekness. It requires patience. It's not something you just say. You do it. You have to be patient. You have to be meek. You have to be soft-spoken. You have to be considerate. You have to be selfless. And when I'm saying this, I'm addressing both the male and the female. There are 1,001 beautiful, happy marriages in the world. 1,001. Together, loving upon themselves, happy together, and they're still married. The problem with us in this generation is greed, selfishness, impatience, pride. You think you know because you're earning more than the man, or the man is earning and the lady's not earning anything, or this, that, or you are more educated, blah, 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 all those things. See, let me tell you, marriage is a beautiful thing. Don't allow the world to tell you anything different. Marriage is such a beautiful thing that if you do it the right way, you will never regret it. Let me make this correction. If you're not married, you have all the chance, all the time to make the right choice. You cannot be a born-again Christian. You go and marry a man who is in the world, who loves to club, who sells drugs, who does this, who does that. You come tomorrow and say marriage does not work. You cannot be a guy. You love, God, you're chasing after God. You go after a girl who would like to be naked on the street, who likes to wear skimpy things, who likes to club, who likes to drink. And tomorrow you want to shut her inside the house. You want to force her to stay. No, no, no. You are not the Holy Spirit. Look for a girl that has been worked on. Look for people who are going your way, who are going your pattern, who are taking your track. Don't go and bring one stranger. And then you want to force your pattern on the stranger. It's not possible. Some of them will say, I will bring her, I will convert her. You cannot convert her. It's a thing of process. You can preach to the girl, she can come to church, she can give her life to Christ. Maybe she's not your wife. Another person will marry her when she has been able to grow. You cannot be a club guy. You're looking for a decent girl. When you marry a decent girl, you want to force her to the club. You want her to wear skimpy dresses. That is what I want. No, and this is not who she is. You're changing her. When you go out, you drive out to work, the lady is dying in silence. She come out and go and write an anonymous message. If you're single, make the right choice now that you have the time. And when I say make the right choice, I'm saying consider tomorrow. Forget about today. Consider tomorrow when you're making these choices. Consider your future. Consider your destiny. Consider your purpose. Think of where you're going to before you pick somebody. You cannot enter, you cannot be a driver. You say, I'm going to this market. Maybe I'm going to Abuja. You go about picking people that are going to Lagos. Are you crazy? There will be conflict on the road because they are not going your way. If you're going to Abuja, pick people that are going to Abuja with you. Don't come here and be confusing our young people and telling them that marriages don't work. See, on social media, thousands and thousands of divorce. Do you know what the problem is? Selfishness. Nobody wants to be selfless anymore. Nobody. I'm not saying that some divorce are not, maybe the man is so devilish or the woman is so devilish, they don't want to, no kind of correction, they don't want to take anything. That's fine. But don't forget, we are married to Christ, we are his bride, and every single day we wrong him. If it were a human being, he would have divorced us since, dumped us and moved on. But every day we offend Christ, we do this, we do that wrongly, and we come to him, forgive me, forgive me. He said even before you did it, he had already forgiven you. As you ask, it's gone already. He has reconciled himself with you. Marriage is selfless. You must be selfless to stay married, to stay happily married. Be kind. Don't talk to your spouse the way you don't want to be talked to. Don't address your spouse with, hurtful words just because you're angry. Control your temper. When something happens, go back, sit down, think. A lot of times, that person that is trying to go out of the marriage is at fault. I'm telling you. If Christ can forgive you 1,000 of sins that you have committed against him as his bride, what is it that your spouse will do that you will not think of the best way? You love that person. You love that person from the depth of your heart. You want to see that person do good. You want to see that person prosper. You want to see good things happen to that person. Why not try to help the person? Social media, they are not telling you the truth. When they come out, dress up, this man has divorced his wife, this one, they are trying to come online and show you videos that they are doing well, that they are not doing well. They are not happy. As a matter of fact, they are dying. If you follow them, you will be lonely in no distant time. Before you find someone who can love you like that person, that your spouse, it will be so hard for you. I'm not saying you will never find love. What I'm just saying, this one you have now, try to protect it. The world is not, you're not married to the world, you're married to that man, you're married to that woman. If Christ can forgive us 1,000 times, learn to forgive. Be patient, be selfless. If it is cheating, you go to your pastor. This is what my husband is doing. This is what my wife is doing. this is this. They will call that person, they will address the issue. If they see that it is something that cannot be handled, there are places where the Bible gives, chances for people to separate, stay apart, and then, work on yourselves and all that. Is there. But what I'm just saying is, you have all the chances to make things work out fine, so that you will groom a beautiful home. The reason the devil is fighting families, because he knows that every single person you see in the society, every person you meet, whether in school, at work, in the society, in the bank, as a politician, as a doctor, as a nurse, everybody you meet in the society, they came from a family. Once you get it wrong there, you've gotten, the society will be polluted. Think, reason properly. It's not all about the ring. It's not all about the white dress. It's not about the wedding. Think, make the right choices. When you reason properly, the person is coming, what are your values, what are your system, where are you going to, how are we going, this. We're heading the same way. You make the right choice. Not to say that because you made the right choice, there will never be problem in that marriage. There will be 1,001 problems. As a matter of fact, there will be problems. Expect it. But what I'm saying is, reflect Christ. He's patient with you. He has been forgiving you. He has been showing you kindness. He has been speaking softly with you. He has been treating you as his everything. Reflect him in your marriage. You have that man, that woman under your control. I'm telling you the truth. The world is lying. The world is lying. They're telling you lies. Marriage is sweet. It's beautiful. If you're already married, apply these things. If you're about to be married, make the right choices, and you will be